What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with a beginner guitar tutorial for You All Over Me by Taylor Swift. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know in the comments down below what are the songs by Taylor Swift that you want to learn on guitar. Guys, the first thing you want to know to play You All Over Me on guitar is that in order to get rid of some bar chords and keep this song as beginner friendly as possible, we're going to capo up to 7th fret. And if you don't have a capo, I'll have a link to get this capo for free right up here. The next thing you want to know to play You All Over Me is the structure of this song. We're going to start out with a verse, then go to chorus, then have a verse and another chorus, and then we'll finish up the song with one last chorus. And the last thing that you want to know before we dive into You All Over Me is the 5 chords that you need to play this song. The first one is G, the next one is C, the next one is E minor, the next one is D, and the last one is D over F sharp. And I'll have chord charts for all of those in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into You All Over Me. Oh my gosh, guys, I am a total Swiftie, if you don't know already, if you're new to the channel. I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. She's a lot of the reason that I got into guitar. And this album actually came out around the time that I first started playing guitar. And so to be able to come back and learn one of these new songs that we've never heard, but that was from the same time that this album came out is huge for me. And I'm so stoked to learn this one. I'm so stoked to share it with you guys as well. So guys, in typical fearless Taylor Swift fashion, this is a fairly beginner-friendly song to play. All we're gonna have is a couple different chord progressions and a couple different strum patterns to go along with them. So the first thing we're gonna take a look at is the chord progression we're gonna be using for our verses. For our verses, the chord progression is gonna be G, D over F sharp, E minor, and C. And that is going to repeat through all of our verses. Now, what we're going to be doing for strum pattern is this. We'll use our G chord as our example. For each chord, we're going to strum down, 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 up. Just about like that. So walk through that whole verse chord progression to look about like this. We'll go down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Again, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Just about like that, repeated through all of our verses. Nothing too crazy here, guys. The trickiest part about that for some of you guys may be the D over F sharp if you've never seen that before. If you can't play that D over F sharp with your thumb like I am just yet, no worries, that is a little bit more of an advanced technique. You can either scoot all your fingers over and play it like this with your pointer finger like that, and then play your D with these 3 fingers, or you can just play a normal D chord there and it'll sound just as good. But if you want to be as accurate to the song as possible, throw that F sharp notes, that second on low E up there with either your thumb or your pointer finger. It'll sound super accurate to the song. So guys, like I said, nothing too crazy here, just a pretty simple chord progression with a pretty simple strum pattern to go along with it. But a couple of times through that chord progression and strum pattern, it's going to repeat through all of the verses on You All Over Me, look about like this without me talking. And from there, guys, the only other thing that you need to know to play You All Over Me on guitar is what we're playing for our choruses. Our choruses get a little bit more involved, but still nothing too crazy here. Still very beginner friendly. So for our chorus, the first thing we're going to take a look at is what we're playing for our chord progression. Our 2 chord progressions, actually. So our first chord progression we're going to have is this. We're going to go G, E minor, C, and D. And we're going to play through that chord progression 3 times. After we've played through that chord progression 3 times, we're going to go to this chord progression, the second line there. We'll go E minor We're gonna let that E minor hang out for 2 measures. If you don't know what that means, just twice as long as all the other chords. And then we're gonna go to C, and then D. And that's it. That just plays once through each chord progression. Now, for strum patterns, for that top line there, we're gonna use the same exact strum pattern that we just used for our verses. So walking through that whole chord progression again with that same verse strum pattern will look about like this. Start with our G chord. We'll go down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. We'll repeat that 3 times, and then we'll be on to our second line there, that one with the E minor at the beginning. For that one, we're just gonna do a single down strum for each chord. So we'll go down, and again, that E minor is gonna stay on there a little longer than all the other chords. And then we'll go to C, down, down, just like that. And that'll take you straight out of the chorus into either the next verse or another chorus, depending on where you're at in the song. So again, guys, nothing too crazy or complicated here, just a couple beginner-friendly chord progressions with a couple beginner-friendly strum patterns to go along with them, but a little walkthrough of what that whole chord progression and strum pattern situation is will look about like this, kind of guided through. We'll start here with this G chord at the top of the first line. We'll go down, 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 up, down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Second line, down, down, down. Just like that, and that is just gonna play once through for each one of those choruses. Like I said, guys, super beginner friendly. I love this because it takes me back to the very first songs that I learned on guitar, which were a lot of Taylor Swift songs from both her original album, her very first album, as well as Fearless. So this is just totally that feel, and it's super nostalgic for me. So learning these kind of simple chord progressions and simple strum patterns that I learned when I first started playing, I'm just so stoked to share them with you because it just kind of takes me back. So with that in mind, guys, like I said, this chord progression or this pattern of chord progressions and strum patterns only plays through once for each chorus, but I am gonna play through it a couple times just so you guys have more of an opportunity to play along with me. So with that in mind, guys, a couple of times through the chord progressions and the strum patterns that are gonna play once through on each chorus for You All Over Me will look about like this without me talking. And guys, that is everything that you need to know to play You All Over Me on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 850 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there cannot be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see what songs I'm working on next, be sure to hit up my Instagram at @thegroovyguitardude. Link for that will be in the description below. And lastly, guys, if you want to support the channel and get your name in the credits at the the end of each new guitar tutorial, you can hit up my Patreon at patreon.com/thegroovyguitardude. Link for that will be in the description below as well. Guys, like I said in the beginning of this video, I am such a huge Taylor Swift fan. If you've been around on this channel for a while, you know that already, but if you're new to the channel, or maybe you haven't heard me talk about it, I'm a total Swiftie. I really am. And she is really a lot of the reason that I got started playing guitar. And I really started playing guitar, I think, right before Fearless came out. So hearing this guitar part and hearing this song in general, oh man, it just took me on such like a nostalgia trip. And Michelle, Guitar Goddess, and I were sitting up last night learning this song, and I was just like, I was having this just like such nostalgic throwback, and I have been all day today preparing for this lesson, just listening to this and just remembering how I felt when I first started playing guitar. And to a more experienced player, you know, it's just chord progressions in a strum pattern. It's nothing complicated. It's fairly typical for Taylor Swift song to have this kind of feel. But man, it just threw me back because this is the kind of first kinds of songs that I started learning how to play. So I would imagine it's kind of the same sort of deal for a lot of you out there. This is probably one of your first songs playing if you've watched this tutorial. And I love it. It just very sentimental to me. I'm a huge fan of Taylor Swift. This is such a beautiful song. I'm stoked to listen to it a lot more. Admittedly, I haven't really listened to it a ton. I've probably listened to it maybe like 5 or 6 times just to learn the guitar part for it, but I really am stoked to just soak this song in and listen to the lyrics more closely. But they totally, from what I've heard so far and what I've really listened to, they really fit in with that kind of after her debut album and in between Fearless and that, like it just feels like that, and I love it, and I'm so stoked about it. And I know Michelle and I are going to be listening to this song non-stop until the next one comes out, and then we'll be listening to that one non-stop too. So anyways, I had a lot of fun learning this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.